even live yet. I don't even know how that's possible. Kong Savage Ruthless. My thing hadn't even said I was live yet, and you were already liking and saying that you're here. I'm just going to post up in the social groups as usual to let everyone know we're in for the discussion. Crypto economy seems to be quite steady. Market cap's at $170 billion. Hey, Z, what's going on, man? Coming up for the weekend? You. I'm just going to post up and steam it, dude. Won't be a sec. Get some more people over for the discussion. Hey, GB Capital. How are you, bro? Just posting up. Won't be a sec, guys. Videos is what I do. There I am. Stop. No, what was that about? See, I didn't see the new stuff. I was actually only just on the Slack group this morning. I didn't actually see anything with regards to that. What was the new stuff with regards to Event Chain, man? It was it regards to the exchange? Is that what you're talking about? They're in negotiations with a big exchange. No, I hadn't heard the huge news. This was just a news about an exchange, man. So please fill us in. You know we're all in on Event Chain. Well, not all of us, but a few of us have got in. So, it was the exchange? Yeah. No, I heard, man. Yeah, no, Ashton, I told you from the start. He's a shaker. He's a move maker in the crypto economy. He'll be pestering people non-stop until everything, is in place for Event Chain. My brother actually, you post on Discord? Thanks, man. That's sick. Yeah, I heard little rumors, whispers about that, man. I hadn't had it confirmed yet. So I just through my channels at the Slack group, I had heard whispers of that, but good to hear it confirmed. When it is actually confirmed, we'll actually say which exchange it is. So I don't want to drop that without permission. I don't know if it actually has been confirmed. If it has, just pop it in the chat and I'll let everyone know. Posting there, Discord, crypto chat. Live now, guys. All right, cool. That should bring Xiao and the rest over. They're having a pretty intense discussion over there at the moment, so maybe they can have it here and join us in the chat. So it's been an interesting, always is. ICO. What are you talking about? See? I don't know what ICO. Not sure what you mean. In any case, I'm going to have a quick look at the market while we get the rest of the crew in for the discussion today. So, as I said, the market cap is quite steady at $170 billion. Bitcoin dominance has surged. It's up around 55. What do we got? 55.9. Bitcoin itself is 5,724. So it did dip down to 5,100 on those lows only a couple of days ago. I think that's likely to be the final shakeout before the forking, but you've got to make your own decisions on that. Training and support. G'day. Not sure we've seen you in the chat before. Welcome, man. Good to see you. Yeah, so I don't think that Bitcoin's going to have any more big shakeouts before the fork, unless we get fresh news. Z, this is they've got fresh news on the ICO. Is that what you're saying about Event Chain? I got to get over there and have a look. But man, I'm a long-term investor on that one anyway. So like for me, we got in pre-ICO even. Thank you very much to Ashton for allowing some of our group to invest at that stage. And so for me, it's like one of the ones that I don't really have to go, I've got to keep an eye on everything because I'm a long-term holder. I was in contact with Ashton before he even announced that he was doing Event Chain. So yeah, I'm a long-term holder. See, I'm not going to be trading that, man. So yeah, it's good. Any good news that comes out. We had that iFlyer news from Japan last month. Thanks, man. Thanks. Put it in the ICO section. Cool. Cool. Thank you. I'll just have a quick look now, actually, because that's interesting. I'm not actually on Telegraph myself, so I can miss things like that. No worries at all. We're working on other exchanges, but it takes finalizing, so we need patience. We're doing what's best for the long term. Value of the coin. We have another announcement coming soon for a huge announcement with a lot of EBC up for grabs. Everyone should stay eager to hear. Yeah. Now, there's some cool stuff going on at Event Chain. I like the way Ashton works. Hey Zhao, how are you, brother? Saw you guys having a pretty intense convo over there on Discord, so I thought I'd interrupt and say, hey, we're over here. I didn't actually see what the crux of that conversation was about, but there's always some interesting chat going on the Crypto Wave Investment Crew Discord group. Yeah, so getting back to the market, Ethereum took a dive, down 1.4%. It's down to $309.66. Still think, look, long term, you're looking at good buying. You got to remember that it's Byzantinium is the first section of the Metropolis fork, and that's I see the major value addition coming in actually the next part of the Metropolis fork. I think it's called Constantinople. I think that's right. I could be wrong. I forget what the second part of the fork's called, but I really think that is probably going to be where you're going to see some weird name GB Capital said. Yeah, I think that's it. So I think that's where you're going to see the major benefits to the users of Ethereum. And at that case, that's an interesting prediction, Grinkers. Grinkers has said $400 by the end of the year for Ethereum. I think that price is more likely myself, mate, into the first quarter of next year. So I'm often wrong with my time frames, though. This market surprises me again and again and again how quickly it does move. So, I was thinking end of first quarter. That was sort of my price points, because I think they'll be, well and truly having the benefits of the technology upgrade. So yeah, I was thinking maybe $400 by first quarter next year, but I said $5,000, maybe 5,000 by the end of the year for Bitcoin. So I've usually been on the low side with my predictions. So thanks, Grinkus, for bringing us your opinion on Ethereum towards the end of the year. Crypto Chronicus has got chimed in on Ethereum. Great timing, mate, given that's what we're talking about, and welcome today. Ether is undervalued, but at the same time, if the ICOs get banned or a lot of pressure on them, Ether will lose a lot of potential. I agree and disagree. The reason I do agree, but I don't think it's going to be as dramatic as what a lot of people think, because even without being able to actually go to ICO, if that's no longer considered a viable form of fundraising or venture capital, companies can still release ERC20 tokens off the Ethereum platform. So it still holds value in that it's on the application that's going to be built on their central network, if you like. That's still available. You just can't do it at ICO. So yeah, for me, I still think that Ethereum, and you did say it's undervalued. Thank you for saying that, Crypto Chronicus. And I really like a balanced opinion that you brought there of saying, yeah, but if this happens, it's gonna lose a bit of value. And you're dead right, it will. Because part of the value is being able to raise venture capital through the Ethereum platform at ICO. Now, if that goes away, I don't think that's a major part of their value proposition, to be honest. I think the platform itself that the tokens can be built on, regardless of how they end up getting to market, whether it be ICO or whether it be a release onto market, is the value, the real core value in Ethereum. And Vitalik, that kid's got to be worth $100 billion by himself. So, yeah, for me, I get what you're saying, and I think it's a really, really valid and solid point. And I think if that did happen, you would see a temporary, massive dump in Ethereum. If a worldwide ban came, or the dominoes started to fall, and all the other governments started to go, yeah, I'm with you, hey, Adog, then Ethereum's there's going to be knee-jerk reaction, man. So if you hear that sort of thing starting to go early, you probably want to pull, wait for the rest of the market to panic. You're not pulling because you're panicked. You're pulling strategically because you expect the rest of the market to panic. And then when the market panics, that's when you buy back in, realizing the long-term potential of Ethereum as the development platform for other potential tokens going forward, regardless of how they get to market. Let's see. Crypto Chronicus had another comment here. Let me just bring the screen up. Crypto Chronicus, a lot of speculation is because people are expecting Ether to ride on other coins and integrate with them. Yeah, that's Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oh, thanks for the like, A-Dog. A-Dog left a like, legend. Yeah, so Ethereum's definitely an interesting. No, I could understand that. Crypto Chronicus said big letters, not saying that I don't like Ether, and I certainly got that, man. I love that balanced view that you've brought, where you say, yeah, I'm an Ether supporter. I think it's a good project, but here's some potential pitfalls. Here's some potential downsides. It's a good way not to get brainwashed, man. You got to. It's very easy to find a favorite crypto and never see anything wrong with it, right? So I think it's important to step back and be honest about the flaws which any crypto actually has. So, which all do at this stage. No one's developed a perfect crypto yet. Not perfect. Agent Smith, I disagree completely. Welcome, man. Agent Smith just said nothing wrong with Ripple. Ripple's a good project, bro. Crypto Chronicus says its strength is that developers can make changes to do things and lessen the impact. GB Capital would like to weigh in on the Ether debate. Let's see what GB Capital has to say. Ether is a work in progress as the smart contracts are limited to be on blockchain. Chainlink will allow smart contracts to happen both on and off chain. It should add value to ETH, in my opinion. Really cool, man. GB Capital's been doing a lot of work over at our Discord group as well, just chipping in and bringing us some coins to have a look at. I still like the look of that ICO, bro. I know that it's a different way that they're taking the capital, and I'm going to have to look further into that, but still like it. Yeah, that's a good thing. Don't have to pull the trigger just yet, but yeah, Confido, that's the one I'm looking at. Yeah, it looks good. It's different. Yeah, I think so as well. Like for me, I'd never go and dump a whole stack into it, GB Capital, because it is a little different. I think it's undervalued as well, Zhao. That's where the gamble's worthwhile for me. You know? So I won't be going stupidly big on it, but you know, I'm thinking maybe like an Ether on it, or half an Ether even, just a little bit in there, and make sure I'm in there, because I like that project, and I think there's a few in our group who want to get in. So we will do that group Discord meeting when it does go to when it goes to the ICO phase. There is a hard cap on that one for 2 Ether for anyone who is interested. There was some interesting stuff though. I read up on like the next stage of ICO, and I don't think the token price actually decreases, bro. Like increases, sorry. So you can get the same amount of tokens per Ether in stage 2. I was just briefly reading up on it. I've got to have a proper good look in it if I'm going to be pulling the trigger on this one. Yeah, for sure. Crypto Chronicus just said, will decentralized cryptocurrency exchanges be a possibility in the future, do you think? Yeah, well, there's already a few of them, man. There's already a few of them. BitShares is a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. You've got Token Desk that's looking to go that way. Thank you, Barterdex. So yeah, I think it's going to be, yeah, I'm the same, GB Capital. I think that's going to be very much a growing market going into 2018. Oh, Zhao, I might as well have read your comment. Zhao said 2018 is going to be the year of decentralized exchanges. So there you go. A lot of us are actually... No, BitShares is an exchange, bro. It's not like BitConnect. They're different things. BitShares is an exchange. CryptoK said, look, you guys, I love the fact that you've got a decentralized exchange. CryptoK is really active about getting onto developers and things like that. But he said, you guys have got to come up with an easier to use platform. It's got to be better than this, because otherwise it's not going to get adopted. And he's given them some constructive criticism over there. So his roundup was that he loves BitShares, but they need to do some work. Yeah, we know that there's a few decentralized exchanges out there. There's one being offered at ICO at the moment as well. I can't remember. So I think it'll be a growing space in 2018 for sure. But having said that, look, if you look at the fees offered by someone like Binance, and you know, you've got to look at it from both point of views, right? If a decentralized exchange gets hacked, whose responsibility is it? That's a small concern. Whereas if Binance gets hacked, for example, I've got someone to hold responsible. So for me, where I'm paying now, because I own Binance coins now, I bought some. So I now only pay 0.05% on a trade. I mean, decentralization on the exchange doesn't really actually offer that much bigger value proposition to me than using a platform like Binance, who's been really good with their fees to start with. So the only problem with Binance is not a big enough selection of coins and no PIVX. We'll get onto that. I'll make that video for you, Binance. Let's see what some comments say here. Crypto Chronicus has asked which exchanges will carry Bitcoin Gold first. I want to sell them on the peak after people claim them. Yeah, I think a lot of people are planning that, dude. So I think you're going to see it dip pretty hard. I don't think people are going to be lining up to buy it, man. That's the thing, right? Who's going to be lining up to buy it if everyone's lining up to sell it? You've got to remember how markets work. So unless Bitcoin Gold have got some money put aside to essentially create an artificial market by buying Bitcoin Gold with reserve money that they've put aside specifically to get the market moving, I think you're going to struggle to sell it. That's the thing, right? You've got to have buyers. You've got to have people who want to buy it. And everyone that I've spoken to has a plan to dump the shit out of it as soon as they get it. So, man, it's a good question. And maybe the early bird will get the worm on this one. But I honestly think the prices being offered on it early on might be pretty low, because unless there's that artificial pump at the start through, money that's been set aside for that specific purpose, which I really feel like might have been the case with Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Crypto Chronicles. I'll get onto that in a second. Anyway, and getting back to the exchanges, 2 exchanges that I can tell you that gave me Bitcoin Cash on the last fork, Bittrex and Cryptopia.co.New Zealand, New Zealand exchange. But hey, they came through with the free coins. Better than I can say for Coinbase. Better than I can say for, what was the other exchange that didn't give it? I can't remember. You're on Bittrex, yeah, man. That's probably where I'd look for. Bittrex are a pretty solid trading platform, man. I think they'll be adding those. They've got a good reputation for, they had the account bans and stuff recently to make sure everything's legit and above board with all their customers and that, but they seem to do the right thing to me. I've never had a problem with Bittrex. So yeah, that's where I'm planning on keeping my Bitcoin, man, for the fork. Yeah, it's the same. Cool. All right, no worries. Let's have a look at one of these questions. Agent Smith mentioned KMD, which did have a good run up, and then I got a buyback. And Bo Vosh is into KMD. There's a few KMD remarks here. So let's have a look at Komodo. See how it's tracking. I haven't actually checked it this morning. As you guys know, I got a buy, sell, buy. Buy, sell, buy yesterday on it quite quickly. I think it dropped below that 33361 from memory is where I bought. You need a sidekick to scan your questions in the chat. The funny thing is, Crypto Chronicus, I was actually just discussing this with someone this morning. I thought it'd be great to put some balance into it if we actually had a female co-host here as well. So what I'm going to start doing is scanning the universities, I guess, for someone who's got the computer skills and understanding of cryptography, or at least a willingness to learn. And I think that's a brilliant idea. I'll grab a co-host for the show. We'll get a female on, so you're not just looking at this ugly mug. We get some balance for the ladies as well. I think it's a great idea, man. And we can work it as a team so I don't miss so many questions. I think that's a great idea. Something I only discussed with someone just this morning, funnily enough. So yeah, looking into that, man. Going to do my best. I only just started the hunt. So if anyone knows any, look, preferably female just to give balance, but I don't really mind. Anyone in the Coolangatta Tweed Heads area? No. She's a surfer as well? See, you're making me angry. That's it. I challenge Crypto Tips to a surf-off to see who gets to represent PIVX. Yeah, so no, definitely looking for intelligence for sure. I think you need a certain level of intelligence to understand this economy and to understand what's going on. So yeah, intelligence is key in finding a co-host, for sure. Good suggestions, guys. Okay, I've lost it. What are we doing? Yeah. No, I get you, Agent Smith. Good comments. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll do my best, Agent Smith. All right, cool. Let's have a look at a few other coins. KMD was one we were just about to have a look at. Just going to bring it up here. So it's 0.3% up against the BTC in the last 24 hours as it stands on Bittrex. I'm going to check this on a couple of exchanges because I'm not actually aware how many exchanges it's available on. It has been fluctuating quite a bit. It's still sitting around that 3.3, like where I bought it back, where I sort of speculated there'd be some support. It's sitting around that mark. So 33234 at the moment, $1.89 in fiat currency. That's the bid. The ask is 33247. So bugger all of a spread at the moment. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't get into gambling. I'm an ex-gambler, ex-gambling addict. So I don't gamble. Sorry, can't help you with that one. I just got asked if there's any good BTC gambling sites. Yeah, no, I don't gamble at all anymore, man. I only invest. I used to, like, the last bit of gambling I did was I was actually successful at it, which was poker. But I lost probably hundreds of thousands of dollars playing horses and casino and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't gamble at all anymore. Strict rule for myself. Yeah, so Komodo's got, I think it's got a big future, especially in Europe. Yeah, I know, Agent Smith, right? Yeah, well, funnily enough, it was like, I'll tell you how that started. I was okay, giving a bit of a, don't crucify me. You probably all did a little bit when you were younger as well, played up. But back in Australia, when I was 16 years old, identification for buying alcohol and going to buying alcohol was a little tough. Like if you looked young like I did, and still do. It was tough to get alcohol, but what it wasn't tough to do is get into gambling establishments where they served alcohol. So we would go to the casino and the turf club on a laminated, photocopied, scanned, printed Western Australian driver's license that just said valid without photo. We all had the same date of birth and the same name, and there were 7 of us using the same ID, and they didn't care. So that's how it started for me, man. Like we'd go in there for a couple of beers, right? I know I was too young, 16, but we'd go in for a couple of beers, and after our rugby and that, because we played rugby for school, and after our surf, whatever, that's what we'd do on a Saturday afternoon, is head down to the turf club, watch some horse racing and drink some beers. And yeah, for me, one thing led to another, and I got, like, I'm not a huge drinker, so I kind of just got a little bored and started playing the horses, and just one thing led to another. So that started at 16, and I'd say I was about, I don't know the exact age I was when I gave up horses and that. I'd say about 25, 26. And within that 10-year period, I reckon I lost $200,000, somewhere close to that anyway. So yeah, I did quite well at a young age and had some money to burn. And well, I didn't, not that much, but yeah, I racked up a massive loss. Yeah, well, Agent Smith, you're absolutely right. Agent Smith said moderation is key. And I don't have anything against gambling. What I'm saying is, if you're a degenerate gambler and an addict, stay away from it altogether. Don't touch it. Don't pretend it's okay. Because for you, it's not. If you're an alcoholic, you don't go to a bar. Simple as that. I have nothing against people who drink. I'm just saying, if you're an alcoholic, if you take it to excess, if you can't control yourself, you have to stay away altogether. So that's me with gambling. That's for me. I don't bet at all in fear of going back into that cycle. Yeah, it's hard. It's even Agent Smith. He's a level-headed guy, and he said, yeah, it's hard for me to stop when I need to as well, It's always just one more bet, right? One more hand, one more spin of the roulette wheel. For me, poker was really profitable, so the more hands I played, it didn't matter, but I realized the net effect of that. I've spoken about that before. I was taking money off people and ruining their lives. So Agent Smith, what did you say? I missed it. Yeah, man, Pete, it is addictive. Like Australia is, yeah, I'm not going to go into it too big a rant, but Australia's like one of the gambling capitals of the world for sure. Huge gambling problem here. Oh, I love roulette and craps too, man. It's hell fun. But the problem is I'm an addict, so I can't play. Let's have a look at what that one was. I spent 2 weeks in Vegas and pulled one slot machine on my way out in the last day, and that's it. Very well done. I went to Vegas, and I can't remember very much of it at all. That's a wild place, man. Really wild. So yeah, yeah. I don't gamble so much. I guess if I went to Vegas just because of the novelty of it, I might give myself $100 budget or something like that. But yeah, man, as a general, like, and actually we've got Melbourne Cup coming up, which is a big horse race in Australia. It's actually a public holiday. That's how gambling nuts we are. You have a public holiday for a horse race. And I might have a bet on Melbourne Cup, you know, $5, $10, something stupid. Pick a name, pick a colour, something with beach or something to do with the waves in its name. And that's what I'll be doing for Melbourne Cup. I used to study every horse and all that sort of thing. Not anymore. Oh, GB Capital, thanks, man. Getting us back onto crypto chat, which is always important for fish. Going sideways on rants. Just regarding Komodo, have you been on a barter decks created by their developers? Atomic Swap's on there. You can also get your coin listed on there too for the future. That's so cool. No, I haven't been on there, man. Barter decks. We'll have to check it out. Hey, GB Capital, I don't know. We've got a resources. I think we've got a resources tab over in our Discord. Maybe you could drop it in there, bro, for us if you've got a link for it. Just when you get time, man. No hurry. Oh, you've got the even better. It's got the link right there. I'm just going to just gonna take that link myself because I want to have a look at that. Thank you. Cool. Just open that up on another tab. Bang, done. I'll have a look, man. That sounds cool. Oh, it's got a 30-second video. Should we? Oh, I don't know if I get copyrighted for playing it. I'd say let's just watch it now. 30 seconds. Oh, they sort of did. It's saying not found. Maybe it's because it. I don't know. Oh, there it is. It's because it had the backslash on it. GB Capital's got sneaky little tricky things. Clever, clever boy. Just found it, man. 30 seconds. I'm sure they won't mind. I'm pretty much promoting their company, right? So let's watch the video. I'll see if I can actually get it to work.
The old centralized structure of coin exchange poses certain risks and limitations to our cryptocurrency projects. SuperNet proposes a solution. BarterDex, a decentralized exchange where real coins are swapped in a peer-to-peer network. Instead of proxy tokens, we use a cross-chain atomic swap technology. We invite all cryptocurrency projects to list their coin in our exchange. Contact us to increase your outreach and volume. For more information, visit barterdex.com.
Thank you, BarterDex. That's fantastic. Actually, I might give them a call. Are we on? Is PIVX on there yet, GB Capital? Because if they're not, you know, I've always vlogged to you that I think that, yeah, I want to research the project first and make sure it's a good project, and then I might contact them about doing my little value addition swap where I can make a video for them. Hey, I just pretty much made one, didn't I? It's pretty new. You don't know. Cool, man. I'll get in contact with them. Thanks for dropping that link on us, because I just think the more places that PIVX can be traded and exchanged and purchased and sold, the availability is a huge factor in winning the race in mass adoption. KMD we could do with some boost. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's look, if it's the same developers from KMD, I like the KMD project, and I think they've shown how clever they are at making the connections in the real world as well. I think they've really positioned themselves well in Europe. So yeah, I'll definitely be having a look at this and see if I can start pushing for PIVX to be on another exchange or another platform. Good vision for the future. Thanks, GB Capital. That's a cool one to bring up, man. All right, let's keep moving on. We've had a look at KMD. Litecoin steady at $60. I haven't heard any massive news, good or bad, out of there, so it just seems to be sitting steady around that $60 mark. Yeah, so do I, Agent Smith. Yeah, I've been accumulating, bro. We're going to get off KMD now, though. Can't devote too much time to one coin. I don't even do that for PIVX. Oh, but I do cover it pretty much every day. Speaking of PIVX, it had a dip overnight. So it was a good time to get in if you had your orders set. Unfortunately, I had them set a little bit higher. PIVX, bro, sell me on it. I'll do my best, Crypto Chronicles. So I think PIVX really sells itself, though. That's kind of the thing. I'm just having a look now to see where it's actually recovered to, because it did recover. I got my buys. I did have some orders set. I've put some more in. I didn't see it going that low. Wilkie messaged me last night and goes, this will be at such and such a Satoshi price by tomorrow. How big a whale are you, dude? Because you would, Mike, that sucks, bro. I got some of it, man, because I had orders set, but I didn't wake up in time to get the best of it, right? Or I wasn't at my computer because it happened that down to 55,000 Satoshi, man. I just haven't looked now to get the exact prices for you, but it was, I can't even, their wallet's under maintenance on PIVX. I can't even look at the bloody thing. You saw it happening, bro. Yeah, I picked up a little, not a lot, like 5 coins or something. That's all I had in BTC to play with, because I got my BTC held, you know, on prepared for a run up, basically, on BTC, just in case it absolutely pumps before the fork. I'd rather sell my BTC right there and then, miss out on all the Bitcoin gold. When I say sell it, not sell it, but trade it into altcoins that I think are too cheap. So I've got massively low buy orders set on a lot of coins. And PIVX I didn't, because it doesn't have a habit of dipping that much, right? So I went a bit shy on this one. I went a bit shallow, but I'm actually still back into profit last time I checked on that. Just on my last buy, I think it was around the 60,000 Satoshi mark. Now, I can't actually check on Bittrex where it's sitting live right now, but what I can do is go over to CoinMarketCap, and if I select PIVX over there, I should be able to get you a live Satoshi price. So please just bear with me one moment. We'll go to PIVX, which is currently sitting 32nd. Oh, PIVX, Komodo, 10x, all around the same market caps. I think they're all going to be big players in the future. So there you go. Talking 200 million today. Maybe we'll be talking 2 billion in the future. Thanks, Agent Smith. Satoshi price is 000 60,898. So yeah, I've made a little bit on my last buy, but not much. Oh, okay. Crypto Chronicles has asked a couple of things. Okay, Crypto Chronicles has asked, I'm not sure if you answered, but why would I need PIVX? Because I have a company, and why would I need PIVX? Well, PIVX has got a couple of features that are going to be beneficial to people who are looking to either take payments in store or through e-commerce. First of all, the speed of the transaction. So you're obviously going to get your payment much quicker with PIVX than you are with Bitcoin at current transaction rates, current speeds. PIVX is virtually instant. It's blink of an eye sort of stuff. Cost to send, thank you, Crypto Chronicles, is about 1/1000th of a cent for any amount. Yeah, we have very, very low transaction rates, mate. It's last one I sent was 0.000. I think there's 4 zeros. 0.00002 PIVX. Yeah, very small transactions, man. It's something we're able to do with our proof of stake model. Yeah, that's what I was saying, bro. When you said you spent $5, I was saying you could have got me the whole $5 if you sent it in PIVX. But man, I appreciate that gesture. Yeah, fast, cheap. Yeah, privacy is another good point, Xiao, that Xiao's bringing up. He's got a good point. Privacy is important with some business transactions. I don't know what sort of business you're operating, but you know that's going to be important for some stores that people might buy things that they don't necessarily want their partner to know about, and it's not necessarily hiding anything. It might be a privacy transaction because they want to buy their wife flowers for the anniversary, and they don't want them to see it, so they make it a private transaction. And that way the wife goes through the PIVX. Oh, actually, if she went through the PIVX account, she'd see it. But the point is, it can't be traced back on the. It couldn't be traced back necessarily through the blockchain, which is what can pretty much happen. Yeah, or pizzas, Agent Smith. You know, those pizzas you used to love getting back in the day. Similar, I guess. Yes, we can do verifiable as well. So it's, I've just been asked whether it's like Ethereum Z snarks. I guess so. Ours is called ZPIV, so we're using zero coin protocol. It's actually a new implementation. It's only just occurred. So you can actually use the zero coin protocol. I have got a video explaining a little bit about zero coin protocol and about how that actually hides someone's identity in the purchase. And it can, it hides the transaction. I think it actually hides the transaction amount as well. I'd have to double check on that, but it does provide you with an option to do anonymous transactions. Yeah, so PIVX has got a few advantages. Yeah, I mentioned another one there, which is community. The PIVX community is amazing, man. Our Slack group's 8,000, 9,000 members strong. It's constantly being developed. There's always active work happening on the PIVX Slack group and suggestions coming through and new community ideas and initiatives that are being played out. So we're never resting on our laurels. We're never saying, okay, well, we're top 50 now, we're good. We're always thinking, how can we be better? And I think that's important, both on the tech side, as you've seen with the implementation of zero coin protocol. And see you guys later. Yeah. Zero coin protocol and wallet releases, continued wallet releases and that sort of thing. So the coin's actually being actively developed. On top of that, you've got an active marketing community in terms of sports sponsorship. So myself, Tanya O'Meara, KKS Rawa Katowice in Poland, the football club, are being all supported and sponsored by PIVX. So I think they've got a really, really good plan going forward as well about with their governance model. So it's governance. We're really trying to work to true governance by consensus, where it's not about governance by not governance through wealth, if you like. So how many shares you own determines how much voting power you get. We're trying to move away from that. And there's not many currencies that are actually doing that. Our masternode holders, so the biggest of the big, they voted for that. They essentially said, we don't want too much power. That's not what this is about. That's pretty cool. And the fact that we do have an inflation rate of 2.6 million coins per year ongoing means that no one can really gain complete control over the network, because there's always been more coins created every year. So yeah, I think that that gives new people chances to come on and be masternode holders without having to essentially break down other masternodes to achieve that. So our network strengthens over time. I think it's a really, really good project, man. So I'm done with the PIVX sales pitch for today. You're more than welcome to join us over at the Slack group and ask some of the. We've got marketing people over there. We've got our developers over there active on our Slack group, and you're welcome to contact them yourself, contact the community, any questions you have about PIVX, and they'll be more than happy to tell you what their favorite things about PIVX are. For me, again, there's a lot of good coins out there with quality tech. For me, it was very much the community that I was drawn to by PIVX. I was always invested in the tech, but then when I found out how good that community was, that's when I started actually accepting work and sponsorships over there. So yeah, thanks for allowing me yet another chance to plug my favorite coin, which is PIVX, obviously. Vertcoin stayed pretty strong, guys. That's one I just wanted to get onto quickly. I'm going to keep moving on to some that I've noticed recently, and Vertcoin's been one that stayed pretty steady after a big run up. That's usually a good indication. I kind of expected it to bounce pretty hard off that $2 mark, but it didn't. It went over there, and last time I checked, it was holding quite nicely. I'm just going to double check now, but $2 is quick growth for us. I must have only been a month ago that we identified it at 65 cents, right? A month? It couldn't be longer than that. I can check my bio because I which I want to buy. Yeah, but it's sitting at $2.10 at the moment. 36,900 Satoshi on the buy, on the bid, sorry, and on the ask is 37034. So 210 to 11. Really, really good run up for Vertcoin. Crypto K and Fish killing it on that one. So that was good. I got some sells, as I told you guys, and I've got the buy order set back. So just trying to buy some back. I've got it at 33536. So yeah, I'm ambitious. I'm hoping for another 10% drop, sort of below that $2 mark. But that's, when you've sold some, you want to try and buy it back cheaper, right? So I'll just be patient and see what happens. And the other thing is you've got to remember is that Bitcoin could get pumped. Like just days, like these last few days leading up to the fork, everyone goes, right, now, because I pretty much just get the 2% if the price stays steady. For me, I'm just going, well, I hope that pump comes and I'll pick up more altcoins, and I'll go, you know what? I'll pick up Bitcoin after it dips, after Bitcoin Gold. In between Bitcoin Gold and B2X, I think there could be a really good opportunity to buy Bitcoin again. That's my personal opinion, and I'm going to continue to work on that thesis by speaking to Rocky Palumbo, who's going to fill me in much, much better on the potential implications of B2X. And if it does appear that there is potentially a threat with B2X, I plan to pretty much get out of Bitcoin between Bitcoin Gold and B2X. And just like, I'm not saying I'll never get back into it. I'm just saying I think there's potentially going to be opportunity where it retraces after that. So that's what I'm going to look for. Hourglass, what's up, man? Just got off work. Sweet. Love knocking off. It's a good feeling, right? It's like, yes, work's done for the day. Now I can just chill. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we're just chatting crypto as usual. So yeah, I'm working this theory at the moment that I think Bitcoin Gold could run up before the Bitcoin itself could run up, or at least stay steady before the fork. But I think after the fork, in between Bitcoin Gold and B2X, so between the 25th of October and early November, I think there's going to be opportunities. I really do. And that's why I'm potentially thinking about getting out of Bitcoin at that stage. And I'll probably just transfer it into altcoins to try and play some altcoin gains. But realistically, I think that... Pete's in the house, just got off work. What's happening? I might have to start thinking, if everyone's getting off work this time, I might have to start running it a bit later. Yeah, so that's sort of the theory that I'm building on at the moment. I'm going to wait until, to actually settle on a decision. I'm actually going to wait to speak to Rocky and get my final information from him and do a bit more research about B2X, and then I'll make a decision after that. As I've suggested, if it turns out B2X has not got any potential implications on the Bitcoin Core blockchain, then I got no problems. I won't be selling out. But if there is even just a slight chance that there's a problem there, I'm probably gonna jump out for a while of Bitcoin itself, just after the Bitcoin Gold fork. And look, if it ends up going to $6,000, $7,000, fantastic. I'll try and find it when it hits a range, and I'll buy it on a dip, and I'll get it back. So yeah, I'll get it back a lot more expensive, and I'll have to trade a little bit to catch up. But I'd just rather do that because I don't know. I think there's also potentially, crisis opportunity, as Homer Simpson would call it, at those times. People start panic selling. That's when I like to come in with a long-term view. So I'm just thinking, trying to get in early on that, and maybe even putting my Bitcoin into some altcoins that I'm predicting will dip, because people are going to go, oh, what else can I get in to get the Bitcoin Gold? Oh, I'll sell this and this and this. So there might be a bit of more bleeding from the altcoin market, and that's when I intend to swoop. And I'll have to do that with BTC, using the BTC I've been holding for the Bitcoin Gold fork. And I don't have a problem with doing that because, as I said, I think after this fork is potentially, and I'm not spreading fear and uncertainty and doubt. This is my opinion. There's a million different opinions out there. A lot of people saying going to $7,000. So please make your own decision. I just see it as a potential time for opportunity after the Bitcoin Gold fork. There could be some retracements, and if they're heavy, that's when I'll get back in. So yeah, and if I play it wrong, I will buy into Bitcoin again, of course, because I think long term it's a great store of wealth. But yeah, I'm going to have to cop the loss in potential profit. I'd rather cop a loss in potential profit than see the profit I've made drain out, right? So that's for me. At the moment, again, I might speak to Rocky and go, Rocky goes, Fish, you're being stupid, mate. It cannot possibly affect Bitcoin, and this is why. And if I agree with him and decide that's true, I'll hold. But I've got to make that decision, and I'm still uncertain at the moment, so I'm not doing anything. I hold. That's all. Uncertainty for me is I hold. Uncertainty, hold. So the only reason I would actually do this if I come up with a real certain strategy that I strongly believe it's going to dip after that, and then I will definitely sell this Bitcoin into altcoins, and then potentially back into Bitcoin when Bitcoin drops. So that would be my strategy for those two forks coming up. I think one's going to be not, or it's already had its effect with the price action we've seen, and the other one could potentially go the other way. So yeah, make your own decisions as always. That's just a little theory I'm working on at the moment, trying to strengthen up before I actually come up with the solid strategy of when to pull the trigger on some of these altcoins. And some are still too cheap, by the way. There's still plenty of good value around in the altcoin market. Plenty, if you're looking to shop today. Let's have a look at what's taken significant retracements. Well, PIVX is obviously one, but Lisk is still coming up to that rebranding, and I think long term it's still going to be good. Hey, Gilly, I'm doing live stream. This is Gilly.
Hello.
Local bodyboarder. Fish's door's always open, so you never know who's going to rock into the show. Let me just catch up on the chat because there was a couple of good questions there. Oh, PIVX has been rising since I've been live. Yeah, bro, I have that effect. I command millions of dollars in the market. Boys are saying, what's up, Gilly? They're all saying good day.
Hey, not too bad.
This is my investment crew, man. You know all that crypto stuff I do?
I had a surf at D-Bar today. There was actually banks there.
Is there banks at D-Bar?
Yes.
Is it still on? I might go after the chat.
It's Northerly's on, that's all.
Northerly?
Yeah.
I'll get a Lovers. That's all right.
That's where I was this morning.
Yeah? Is it any good?
Yeah, it was all right.
Who was out?
Low tide, I reckon it's going to be all right.
Well, who was out?
No, just me.
Just you?
And another dude.
Was like Matty Aldridge and those boys out?
No, they missed out.
Yeah, right. I might go after this.
There's a comp there, though.
Comp on?
Yeah.
Who's competing today?
It's some sort of fundraising one.
Fundraising comp, cool. I might have to go down and have a look. Tanya's competing over at Tanya, you know, the surfer from up at the sunny coast, Tanya O'Meara.
Mm-hmm.
She's competing over at Phillip Island. She's doing Stratty this weekend, actually. She's got a smaller comp at Stradbroke Island up north, and then she's got Phillip Island and then Newcastle. I'm going to make her Newcastle comp, and I've got that DK sessions down at Port and then heading up the sunny coast. So it's a hectic time for surfing and comp surfing. Just interrupted the crypto and investment chat completely with a bit of surf chat. But Gilly's going to hang out with me on the couch for the next 10 minutes, so I'll get back onto crypto. Won't be a second. Need a ready for Phillip Island, man. I'd need a 4-3 over there for sure. You'd need a 4-3 on Phillip Island.
4-3 back up 5-4.
5-4, yeah.
We're
Talking about the thickness in millimeters of the wetsuit. Up on the Gold Coast, we're in 2 3s, like 2 across the chest. 3 across the chest, 2 across the arms and legs of the thickness of the wetsuit. Most of the year, we don't even wear one up here. So down south, it's a little colder. So yeah, it's going to be cooler times for Tanya going into those competitions. Let's have a look. Gilly, what do you think about the upcoming Bitcoin gold fork, mate? You think there's what are you doing with your Bitcoin? You're holding on to it for the Bitcoin?
Well, just quietly, Bitcoin's just starting to tweak its head in the media, which was on news the other day.
Was it?
Yes.
See, Gilly just said Bitcoin was on the news. I was staring him up. He's not a crypto investor.
Well, I'm not an investment, but the thing is, I still sort of listen.
Yeah, he listens. He hears the chatter about Bitcoin. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, it was on TV. The only thing is, I missed it.
Yeah.
It was on Channel 9, so I might be able to get it on that 9 Go app. And
yeah, cool. Channel 9 for any of the Australian viewers interested.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Bitcoin segment on there. So
what Bitcoin is. And
yeah, man. Look, the funny thing is that I was driving back from D-Bar, actually. My old man called me and he said, "Oh, get onto ABC radio because there's a Bitcoin thing on now. They had it on national
We're
radio.
starting to explain to it, so I think it's going to implode or explode or whatever word you want to use.
Explode's the one we use. Yeah, it's going to blow up. I think so as well.
It's going to go off the head because people like me who aren't so savvy on it are going to go, oh, hang on, I might put $100 in there.
Yeah, exactly. See, Gilly's just said, so even he's considering just throwing $100 in, you know.
Yeah.
So you
Amazing.
get enough people doing that around the world, that makes a massive difference to the crypto economy, right? So it's interesting times.
It will be.
Yeah, Agent Smith, especially that's what I try and do with mates, right? Like Gilly, I've got a few people in, and I always work on budgets that are sensible for them, right? So for Gilly, he's not going to go and jam 10 grand in tomorrow. So people who are learning and people who are new, I think I go to them, what would you put on the Melbourne Cup? All right, what would you put into a pokey? You know, if you were having a night out and you were having a gamble, start with that. Learn with that, and that way it doesn't matter. Because when you play $100 on a pokey, you're going to lose it most of the time. And you know, you put $100 on the Melbourne Cup, Gilly. I don't know how many times you'd pick the winner, but I never bloody do.
Yeah,
Right? So
it's been proven that pokies don't pay out because Crown Casino is under investigation.
Is that? Are they? Yeah. See, there you go.
For duping their things. So
Crown Casino under investigation in Melbourne.
why wouldn't you throw $100 on Bitcoin where it might win and it might lose?
Yeah, exactly. So even if you see it like that, even if you're just a bit of let's play the market, you know, let's have a bit of fun sort of person, this can be your gambling. It can. You can just put into coins based on cool names and like people do when they're horse racing. Cool names, the color of the logo, whatever you like. You know, that's what people do in horse racing. Why can't that mentality be taken into the crypto economy where you're actually going to be profitable with your investments more often than not? Bitcoin will never go to zero, Milo said. Yeah, no, I agree, man. Question. Well, technically, it can't really go to zero because there's been lost coins, right? And those coins have a value. And unless everyone suddenly finds their private keys from all those millions of dollars that have reportedly been locked into the system through lost Bitcoin, then yeah, you're right. It's essentially, it can't really go to zero. Try leveraging trading on BitMEX. Oh man, don't do leverage trading. I really find that as I don't advise it. You guys invest with the money that you have. Leverage trading is such a dangerous game. Have you seen the swings that this market takes? And you want to make that exponential? You want to exacerbate that by making it leveraged? Come on. Yeah, don't play leverage trading. That's play long-term investing. Play long-term investing where you never sell a coin unless you're in profit. You can't lose. You cannot lose playing that way because you've never written off the loss. You can be down, but you've never lost if you bought 100 shares, you still own the 100 shares. Their value might have gone down. We explained this yesterday, but you're still holding them. So, you don't know what leverage trading is, Pete? Good. Stay away from it. Honestly, man, it's I think it's a little bit of a mugs game. It's like 90% of capital lost. 90% of traders lose 90% of their capital within 90 days in leverage trading. If you want to play those stats, you can. For me, I did actually used to play those stats and I did quite well at it, but it's kind of a mugs game. It really is. You got to be bloody good at technical analysis to be, and even then you get it wrong sometimes. You should have seen how much money I dropped in one session, like overnight. Having said that, I bought the oil cheap, but I literally lost $4,500 of my profit in going down to the pub and coming back. Had a beer, celebrating that I'd made like $12,000 in a week trading oil. Came back and had lost like $4,500 of it just because I stuffed up. I'd been trading for days and I was tired and I forgot to, set my stop losses and I lost a bunch of money. But like literally by the time I got back from the pub, couple of beers, man. I'm talking 2 hours. So leveraged is, yeah, easy come, easy go. Exactly, Milo. So, yeah, Agent Smith said, every time I've sold at a loss, the coin eventually has gotten back to above where I actually paid for it. He said, I'm never selling at a loss again. Agent Smith, that will see you invest some money occasionally into a project that goes to zero. like nothing. But there's nothing more frustrating than selling at a loss when you could have got it into profit. It messes with your head, and it's not a good strategy. A good strategy is to hold it until you win. If you stuffed up and you bought in FOMO'd and you bought on highs, you might have to wait it out 2 or 3 years. That's what happened with Bitcoin to the people who did it in 2014, right? Before Mt. Gox. They bought it at $1,000 a hit, and they went down to a tenth of that value when it plummeted down to about $100. But for those people in 2014 who held their nerve and said, no, I'm not selling because I'm at a loss. I'm a stubborn prick, and I'm going to hold. They're 5x, 5.5x from where they bought it in 4 years. There's not too many investors who will tell you that 550% return in 4 years is bad. So, yeah, I think it's really solid advice that Agent Smith, well, let's face facts, he's stealing my advice and passing it off on his own. Yeah, no, it's really good advice that I give and that Agent Smith has backed up there. Don't sell at a loss. It's suicide. Take your hit. Take it and wait. That's my point. That's the way I play. Copyright, you reckon, Chow? Yeah. And it's worked for me, guys. And I'm the same. You know, I took Neo down before I went big on it. I did. I bought Neo and went on a ride down first, even from $2. It dropped below that quite significantly before it went skyrocketing all the way to $40 bloody dollars or $50 or wherever it went to. But I had to take a ride down on Neo. You go and look at my Steemit articles where I tell people to buy it, where I told people to buy Neo at, I want to say it was around the $6 mark before it did that big jump to 10. But I told him to buy it 6 and it dropped like a good 20-30% before it went, see you later, never to come back again. So I wrote it down 30%, but I still got to $10 sales. And some people would have gone, oh, panic, sell at a 30% loss. That's not a good strategy for making money, selling at losses. So yeah, don't sell until you've made money. That's just chill. If it rides down, you just go, whatever. Go out for a surf, go play golf, whatever your thing is. Go play tennis, listen to some music, go meet a friend. Go do something nice for someone. Go do some charity work. Karma might pay you back then. But I really think that. Oh, Mark G's just said BTC so flat today. It's so creepy, man. Most people see that sign of stability as a good thing. It's funny, we're so used to these massive swings in our economy that as soon as we see a day that's only trading 2 or 3%, do you know how often the Australian dollar swings 3% in a single day against the US dollar? Never. Like 2 times a year. When the RBA on the Reserve Bank on either side makes an announcement that was unexpected, then you might see a 5 or 6% swing in one day, but it happens like twice a year. In this market, come on. I pray for these days of stability. What were you saying, Gilly?
I'd take that.
Yeah, exactly. You can make a couple of percent today. 5,100 it didn't. Yeah, look, a lot of people said that, Mark G, when they saw it dip down to that 5,100. I just didn't because I didn't have a need to. I've already done quite well. I actually got to pull some money out. I'm buying a computer. Spoke to Jace yesterday. Aussie Canuck, you guys know him as. He's a local boy. He's only over at Balamble Heights. You know where that is, Gilly? He's just over here. And he can build me a computer much cheaper than a $2,000 Mac. And I don't have to learn a new operating system. So, Apple, unlucky. Yeah, he says it'll give me good streaming and, really good quality. We'll be able to make this really good quality stream. And video editing, he said, it's fine. We can do that on So, yeah, that's the good news for me is I'm going to be getting all my tech upgraded next week. I'm meeting up with Jace next week. We're going to go have a look at the componentry we need, and he's offered to build it for me. So what a legend.
Where we go?
You got to go? I'm just about to shut down.
It's all right, I've got to go. Anyway,
back. See you later, dude.
Well.
Yeah, that's Gilly heading out, and I'm probably going to do the same pretty soon, guys. It's been an hour. I'm pretty bad at getting onto crypto chat, isn't? Oh, it's midday, man. Just hit midday, so I got to go out for an Arvo surf. Oh, it's midday. Well, technically it's 1 p.m. because technically I'm 100 meters across the border. into New South Wales, and New South Wales, the time zone's different. So in Queensland, which is 100 meters that way, that's what time frame I stay on because I was born and bred in Queensland. And for me, I just prefer to stay on Queensland time. So yeah, 1 p.m. in Sydney, exactly, Milo. So man, I'm actually in the same time zone as you technically, but I mean, I cross the border like 10 times a day. I go from New South Wales to Queensland to get my breakfast every morning. D-Bar is literally like, you park in New South Wales, but if you drift far enough around D-Bar, you're surfing in Queensland. So you park in New South Wales, you paddle out. I think the beach is actually run by a Queensland government just to make it all more confusing. But yeah, so I live on the border with a time difference 100 meters either side of where I live. For me, it's actually a really good thing because, you know, like the supermarkets are open 1 hour earlier on one side and they stay open 1 hour later on the other side. So as long as you can keep a track of the time, you know, people from New South Wales telling you, oh, I'll meet you at 1 o'clock, and people from Queensland telling you, oh, I'll meet you at 1 o'clock, and you know what time that is. There's actually a lot of convenience to living in a place with a split time zone. So, yeah, Agent Smith a little bit for meeting times, but most of us who live down this way have learned to clarify, to say, oh, New South Wales, Queensland, because we're right on the border here. And the other thing that happens really funny each year is that a lot of people who live on the border have their phone set to read off the towers, right? And their phone automatically updates the time. And every year when New South Wales goes into daylight saving and Queensland doesn't, people who live close to the border who work in Queensland end up arriving for work an hour early almost every year. There was one girl that I worked with who did it like every year. And I'm like, seriously, you're not going to just turn your phone to set the time so it doesn't pick up towers to set it. Every year when the clock switched over, she would rock up an hour early and sit there going, where is everyone? Why is no one at work yet? So yeah, and that's the funny thing. You see people up at Point Danger. It's kind of not really a novelty if you live here, right? Like you can stand on either side of the border and that's fine. But you see people up at Point Danger, which is right up overlooking the ocean and D-Bar and Snapper Rocks and that. And they literally walk along and they're with their phone like this and they walk along and go, and they get all excited when the time changes and then they walk back and they go and get all excited when it changes again. I'm just like, fair enough. You come to one of the most beautiful tourist areas in the world and you sit there and watch your phone change times between time zones. Don't worry about the dolphins and the whales that are putting on an absolute exhibition out the back there. Keep staring at that mobile phone. Good on you. Anyway, I'm going to check out before I get on another technology-based rant. I'm going to go get some surfing done and get prepared for these competitions I've got coming up. Proudly representing PIVX in November in a couple of competitions. So looking forward to bring that all to you. And thanks very much again for joining the crypto conversation today. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Queensland time. Take it easy, guys. Fish out.